Hello and welcome to today's United Kingdom talk. And they have arrived, boys and girls. You remember a few weeks ago I told you I had sent off for some blueberry bushes. They have arrived, all 6 of them. Here's one. It's in a little black pot, and at the moment it just looks like a twig in a bit of earth. That's all it looks like. But soon this will be... Oh no, hang on a minute. There is a green shoot on there. Oh, right at the very end, a little green shoot. Oh, already my blueberry bushes are bursting into life, boys and girls. They're bursting into life. How wonderful is that? And they all come... I bought 6 bushes altogether. I think it was about £25. And they came in boxes. And it doesn't worry me when you get... two great big... I'd completely forgotten about them, to be honest. They came into... Oh, hang on a minute. What's that? These have to be recycled, you see. They come in 2 great big boxes, right? 2 huge boxes. And I couldn't remember what... I thought, well, what's that? There was a knock at the door. Morning, mate. Delivery for you. And here were 2 big boxes. I had no idea what they were. And there was nothing on the front to suggest that they were plants. It just said fragile. Like little old me, boys and girls. I'm a very fragile person, as you know. Just a minute. Oh, I need to write something down. Otherwise, I'll run over time. Just a minute. There we are. Let's write that down there. Right. Yes, it does worry me. There's nothing on the side to indicate that they are live plants. But they appear to have survived. And I took them out of their little box last night, watered them immediately and put them on the what's that thing next to the window? The windowsill, that's it. I couldn't remember what that was for a minute. I put them on the windowsill. And, yes, I'm going to plant those probably today because they are hardy. They can go out in cold weather. And it has been cold here. I've got to tell you that. It has been rather cold here, boys and girls. Let me just... So I'm all over the place today. I don't know why. I can't get going. I'm having another one of those days where I can't get going. You know what I mean? Well, I've got all these things in my head to do, but I can't get the order in which to do them. Now, usually, the first thing of the day I do is my music and chat show. I've just done that. And then immediately after that, I will come in here to the Britannia studio and record a chat show as well. But there's other things, and I can't get them in the right order in my head. Strange, isn't it? Anyway, so in these boxes come our plants, and also within the boxes, to keep my plants nice and safe, they've got these little polythene bags filled with air. I love popping these, don't you? Look. Oh, we love it. Oh yeah. Do you like doing that? Popping those bags of air. God knows how bad these are for the environment. You see, I don't understand it. You know, why put these in there when newspaper would have just done the job as well, wouldn't it? And newspaper will go into the ground and it will disintegrate very quickly. This plastic, and there's no use for this now, really. I've got no use for this. We should be able to recycle plastic bags. Can we recycle plastic bags? Or in particular these popping things? Oh, like a... You know, you can have hours of fun with this, can't you? You really can. Little bags of air, ready to be popped. Do you ever do that with crisp bags? Eh? There's some very, very bad news about crisps in a minute. It's coming up. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. Okay? Yeah, do you ever do that with bags of crisps? When you've eaten the crisps, you kind of blow it out and then go bang, and you frighten someone. We do like to be frightened, don't we? I mean, sometimes for hours on end I walk through woods, hoping that someone's going to jump out on me, but it never happens. Very disappointing. Now, the bad news about crisps, I have heard, now I'm not 100% sure on this, don't quote me, dear, don't quote me, but I have heard that walkers are removing their grab-sized bags. Is this true? This is horrendous. Horrendous. I had given up crisps and chocolate for the entire period in the Catholic calendar of Lent. And then, come Easter Sunday, which has just passed, I know. For you it's passed. For me it hasn't. It's another 2 days because I record these shows 1 week in advance. Right? So here I am waiting for Easter Sunday and I'm now wondering, will there be any walkers grab-sized bags of crisps? This is terrible news. Well, I just have to buy 2 single packs. That's all there is to it. I shall be celebrating my Easter day with a couple of bags of cheese and onion Walker's crisps, and hopefully a Cadbury's Flake Easter egg. They're my favourites. Oh, you can't beat Cadbury's chocolate, even if it has been taken over by Kraft. But I've heard that Walkers are removing the larger size, grab size bags, which I think is terrible, because you always get those in the garages. And there's I don't know if it's twice the size of a single packet or it's like 1.5 times the size. I find 2 packets of Walker's crisps, single size, is a bit too much. But the perfect size is the grab size. Can I just? I've got an itch at my leg. I don't like to scratch on the camera. Oh dear me. Yes, that's it. Dear me. So it's all happening in the garden, because I do like a bit of gardening. I'm not a professional gardener, but I do like to do bits and pieces. And indeed this year, for the first time, I have... Oh, by the way, I had to bring my tomato plants in the other night, because it's been so cold again. Told you on the last show, you see the Lord, he shows us a snatch of summer, and then he grabs it back again quickly and throws some more snow. What's all that about? For the first time this year, I have decided to grow my own little border flowers rather than buy them from the garden centre. And I've got a packet of seeds for about £2, and they've all come up. To be honest, I can't remember what they are now, but they're little flowers, and they've taken about 10 days to come up, and there they are in their little pots. I've individually in pots, and put them in the airing cupboard, and they are already grown an inch. So as soon as they come out, you see, you have to take them out of the airing cupboard and put them on the windowsill, which I've done. And they're all coming up nicely. Of course, it's not really to do with saving money. I find a great sense of achievement in actually putting these little seeds in tiny pots and germinating them, giving them life. I have given life, boys and girls. I have given birth. I've given birth to plants and seeds. That's what I've done. I have planted my seeds and given birth to the wonderful little flowers which will appear at some point. So there we are. Do you do that? Do you grow plants from seeds? It is easier to go down to the garden centre and buy them already grown. But I don't know. That would be for people who perhaps haven't got the time or can't be bothered or can't do it. Not everyone can germinate seeds. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult. I was unsuccessful with some seeds a couple of years ago, but I kind of learned from my mistakes. It's like that last year. Remember the trouble I went with tomato blight? I lost most of my tomatoes to blight. I've learned from that you do not water the whole plant, just the bit at the bottom. What I was doing was turning on the sprinkler, and like for an hour it would be soaking these plants. No wonder they got damp. You know, poor old things they were, dear. So I've learned from that. But I do like a bit of gardening, germinating from seeds. It's the first time I've actually done little flower plants from seeds. So you can keep an eye on those as we go through the spring and summer, if it ever arrives. I'm kind of hoping, because we had such a bad winter, we will now have a nice long hot summer. I do hope so. Okay, email time, boys and girls. And you can always join in by email. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. First of all, from Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Regular correspondent. Dear Chris, was just listening to your show for Saturday, March the 27th. and enjoyed hearing about all the work you are doing in preparation for the outdoor growing season. Yeah, oh, I love it. I love it. There is a real sense of achievement when something that you've done comes out of the ground and bursts into life, or flower, or tomatoes, whatever it is. I find so. She says, I agree that you do have to keep an eye on the weather forecast. Where I live, the general rule of thumb is that you should wait until the second half of May for planting flowers and vegetables. Otherwise, all your hard work can be lost due to a late spring frost. Yeah, you're right. I think that's about right here as well. to be honest. You can put stuff outside, but you've got to watch that weather. And if there's any sign of frost, you've got to bring those plants inside or in a shed or something like that. And it's usually at night time you're going to have the problem. You know, it's the frost will usually suddenly come down at night, and you won't lose some of them, you will lose the lot. You've got to get those plants in when the frost comes down, all right? Vicky says, I just took Honey the dog for a walk, and it's 27 degrees Fahrenheit out there. Not nice, dear. Too cold for me. Your growing season starts earlier than ours, but we grow most of the same plants, even if we use different names for them. Yeah, the beauty of actually planting stuff inside, and you don't have to. I haven't got a greenhouse. I haven't got little cloches or anything like that. I put the seeds in little pots or in a seed tray, and they go in the airing cupboard. And when they've germinated in there, they come out and they go on the windowsill in the house. That's my greenhouse. You don't need to spend thousands of pounds on a blooming greenhouse. It's nice to have one, I suppose. But my garden isn't that big. If I started putting a greenhouse in that, I'd lose a lot of the garden, you know. And my cat Katie wouldn't like that. She likes to patrol the garden, looking for enemy cats and birds. She protects my property, my cat. Oh, yes. Vicky lives in a condominium, and that means there are rules regarding the types of plants that we can have in the yard immediately adjacent to our units. Veggies are not allowed in planting beds near the units, but you can grow tomatoes, etc., on the deck or patio. Now, I think that's a shame, that is, because there are certain vegetable plants that do look very beautiful. Tomatoes, they look lovely hanging there, don't you think, on the plants? And, you know, peppers, different coloured peppers. You can get yellow, orange, green, red. Beautiful when they're fully formed, aren't they? There are just, I mean, vegetables and certain vegetables, well, actually, come to think of it, they all look quite nice. Carrots in the ground, they've got that beautiful, like, the leaf that comes up, haven't they? I wonder why they don't allow that. You could surely, the powers that be at your condominium, surely the powers that be should allow flowers and vegetables within the same patch. And I think that would kind of complement each other, wouldn't it? There are a lot of deer in the neighbourhood, and they do seem to enjoy the buffet we gardeners put out for them. Oh, are you getting all your crops eaten, are you? I don't have that problem here. I've got a fence all around it. Can't blame them, really. Who doesn't enjoy a good buffet? Now you're talking, girl. You know me. If there's a buffet on anywhere, I want to know about it. I do like a buffet, the usual wedding buffets. I'm very, very partial to wedding buffets. Sausage rolls, ham sandwiches, bowls of crisps and coleslaw. Oh, lovely, dear, lovely. The deer eat the greenery off many of the evergreen shrubs, including the holly bushes, as well as eating lily flowers and hosta plants. I don't know what hosta plants are. Both leaves and blossoms. Well, I have a massive holly bush now in the garden. It was only so high when I planted it. It was about 3 foot high when I planted it. Not even that. I would say about 2 foot high when I planted it. This thing is massive now. It's taken like 15 years to get there. But it's massive. It's much, much taller than me. And it's spread out a long way. And it's beautiful. Holly bush. It's green leaves with yellow edging around it, and it does get berries because nearby there are I've planted a male holly bush as well. A lot of people don't know that if you want berries on your holly bush, you've got to get a male and a female plant and plant them close to each other, otherwise you won't get any berries. Lilies. I did used to plant lilies, but I'm afraid I suffered the lily beetle, which is a tiny little red thing, and they go through your lily plants like locusts. There's nothing left. You know, you go to bed one night and you wake up and there's just these stalks in the ground where the lily beetle have eaten all the leaves, so I don't do those anymore. We also have rabbits living in the neighbourhood, and they eat a variety of growing plants, especially busy lizzies. No, they're not. She says dizzy lizzies. They're not dizzy lizzies. They're busy lizzies, darling. We also get wild turkeys wandering through the condo, but I think they mostly eat bugs like gnats and mosquitoes. Oh, I don't like gnats. Mosquitoes. Aren't they noisy things, mosquitoes? Why are they so noisy, mosquitoes? You ever wondered that? Buzzing around all the time. They get on my nerves, they do, mosquitoes. Do you get wildlife in your neighbourhood eating your plants? Or is that not allowed in Royal Berkshire? Well, to be honest, I think the cat sees most of those off, because the cat doesn't eat any plants other than a mouthful of grass now and again. She does sit there chewing at a few mouthfuls of grass for some reason. We do have squirrels in the trees. And a couple of years ago, I spotted a squirrel digging up my bulbs, dear, and my hanging basket. What a cheek! And the cat just sat there and watched. I think the cats know that the squirrels are very fast. The squirrels, they seem to run very quickly. And the cat knows it can't get the squirrel. Although the cat, if it got the squirrel, would probably win the battle, if you see what I mean. But the cat knows it can't get the squirrel. And the squirrel knows that that cat can't move fast enough to get the squirrel. So it just sits there, cheekily eating in front of my cat. Dear me. She says, also, am I correct in understanding that with your council tax came with multiple colour brochures stating how your tax money is being spent? Yes, you're right. I mean, how much did that cost them? She said, how much did it cost them to print and send the brochures? Save the trees and skip the brochures. That's what I say. Yeah, me too. Me too. And it does make me laugh, you know, when they send you these bills and things, knowing full well that most people can get this information online should they require it. I mean, I'm always getting letters from the bank suggesting that I start doing all my banking online and not to ask for the statements to be cancelled so that they can save on the paper and all this business. Two things there. Number one, I'm self-employed, so I actually do need these statements, right? And two, you know, if I say, OK, I don't need the statements anymore, are my charges going to come down? Of course they're not. They're not going to come down, are they? So why should I waste my money printing a couple of statements when I might as well get them to send it anyway? Because if they said to me, OK, well, we'll give you back £5 a month if you don't have the printed statements, then I would probably say yes. No, but where's the carrot? I don't see any carrot dangling in front of my big nose. No, it's all take these banks, dear. Vicky says, I've had a couple of minor health problems this year and seem to be getting back on track now. One of them was being low on iron. So now I am spending some time at the doctor's office getting what they call iron infusions. What are you doing then? Chewing on a fork or something like that, dear? To get your iron intake up. Are you chewing on bits of metal as you're driving along? She says this is intravenous iron in liquid form, which will be a big help. It's funny, all that business with iron, isn't it? You know, you've got your iron downstairs that you do your clothes with. And I can't imagine anyone trying to eat one of those. Although there probably are one or two people. The infusions are not painful, just boring and a little stressful because I don't like the needle being in my arm. Oh, no, thank you very much, dear. I have to have blood taken now and again for tests. But I never look. I never look at needles going in arms, whether it's a small needle, you know, what they do the flu injections with or anything like that. I cannot look, dear. When I go to the doctors or whatever, I turn my head and say, right, I'm not looking, get on with it. I really appreciate having the old episodes of your shows or podcasts to entertain me while I'm there. Oh, good, I'm glad you enjoy those, darling. You can, of course... the video side of things is there's 2 years worth of those now, but the audio side of things, we actually started putting this show out in October 2005, and all the shows are there. You may or may well, I don't know how you can listen to so many one after the other. That would do my brain in, to be honest. But if you've never had a look there, you will see them all, and you can find that at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. We've actually had a bit of a problem with the videos. They seem to be coming out bigger on there for some reason, and they're not kind of. It's kind of. I mean, they're all on the screen, but it's kind of looking everything looks kind of a little bit out of place, but they are still there. I'm working on that, okay? Listening to the podcast does even more to occupy my mind than watching the show. Sometimes it's really theatre of the mind, especially when you describe something that you are showing to the audience. Yes, I'm always very, very aware of that. More people do listen to the show rather than watch it. That's true. So I'm always aware of that this is more of a radio show than a video television type show, okay? The video thing was an afterthought, which I just happened to do it a couple of years ago, and I thought, and I carried on doing it. It is a lot more effort to actually do the video side of it than it is the audio side. Literally, if I was just recording the audio side of it, and not doing the video, as soon as I finish it, I could be in the room next door, and within 10 minutes it would all be uploaded and edited and put together. The video and audio together takes about apart from the half hour that you see, as another good half an hour's work to put it all together. Yeah. It's a funny thing about being under the weather. I am always my own worst critic, or me too. And I was really being very hard on myself for being so lazy and for not being as productive and energetic as I thought I should be. Do you know, I'm like that. I'm like that. I walk around the house thinking, get on and do something. You're too lazy, Chris. If I can sit down in front of a television programme and sit there feeling guilty that I'm not actually doing something. Are you like that? Anyone else like that? Do you feel guilty when you're not doing something productive? Do let us know on the email. Your email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. It was a relief to know that there was a reason, which was, of course, the low iron that she had, that I felt all run down and tired. I'm sharing my story with you and your listeners and viewers in the event that maybe someone else out there is feeling a little under the weather for whatever reason and can learn from my mistakes. I wasted so much mental energy being hard on myself instead of trying to figure out the cause of my problem and trying to figure out a plan to work around the problem until I could get it fixed. And the worst part is, this is not the first time I've had a run. I have run so low of iron that I've had iron infusions in order to get back to have it fixed. Funny, isn't it? You know, you have something before and you don't recognise the symptoms, really. I guess it was much easier to slip into a familiar pattern of criticising myself instead of recognising what was really happening and doing something about it. Like the saying goes, old habits die hard, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. You can't teach an old dog new tricks either, can you? Eh? It will take a few months for my iron levels to get back to where they were. In the meantime, I'm making some adjustments to my own expectations of how much I can get accomplished. And I'm taking a nap at the weekends, if I feel I need it. Well, I take a nap in the afternoon as well. And I have done for, God knows, 20 years or so. I have a 2-hour sleep usually between 5 and 7 o'clock. Always have a 2-hour sleep. Perhaps you should try the same thing. Do you get tired in the afternoon? Just sit on a tea and go to sleep for 10 minutes or whatever, or a couple of hours, if you can afford the time, of course. You know, we can't all afford the time, can we? I'm also trying to eat healthier foods, especially more vegetables. I don't like boiled or microwaved veggies. To me, it kills the flavour. My favourite way to eat veggies is to bake them in the oven with olive oil. You do exactly the same as me, Vicky. It's so yummy and easy to make. Tonight's veggies will be cauliflower roasted with sweet onions. Now I might try that myself. That sounds nice. But I do find, you know, with onions, I do find they give me terrible wind here. Do you? Do you get wind with onions? I mean, it's not pleasant. It's not clean wind, shall we say that? Oh, it's awful. I usually blame someone else though if I'm with a group of people. They always believe me. Couldn't possibly be Chris. Oh yes, and you've asked for photos of where we live. Attached to 2 photos of the condo from the year. She planted lots of petunias, and 1 photo from the year I planted lots of marigolds. I like that one because my dog Honey takes up most of the photo. Thanks for listening, Chris, and thanks for being there too. And that's from Vicky. Yeah, I like marigolds. They're nice, aren't they? Lovely yellow flowers. They say they're supposed to keep cats away from areas and what have you, and digging up and going to the toilet on the plants. My cat, I don't know where she does go to the toilet, but she doesn't go on my plants. She's very thoughtful, my little cat Katie. She really is. And thank you very much for the pictures of your house, which looks lovely. I won't show these pictures as I usually do on the camera, because sometimes I think people don't want other people to know where they live or the houses they've got or what sort of houses they are. But beautiful. However, I have got a picture of your dog. What's the dog's name again? Where's the dog Honey? It's a beautiful dog. 1 minute. It's a beautiful dog. It's got looks old, and it's like all white fur. I think it's a terrier. Is it a terrier, a dog? Is it a little terrier? Beautiful little dog, Honey. And I must say, it's got a sad face though, Vicky, hasn't it? Oh, it's got a sad face, darling. Beautiful dog. I'm sure it will get on very well with my cat. Thank you. Now, do you remember the Muslim alarm clock I showed you the other day with the Muslim aye, 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 with that like chant stuff that comes out, and that's what happens instead of a bell ringing? Well, I found another one, a Christian alarm clock now. It says time with the Lord. There are and this is a clock, and when the alarm goes off, it says every morning you will wake to a different Bible verse welcoming the day. There are these shorter verses, around 100 in total, often with a morning theme, are followed by a series of bleeps, just in case you need more cajoling out of sleep. When you turn off the beep, you will hear longer Bible meditation from the most beautiful and faith-affirming parts of the Bible. So there we are. We've now found a Christian alarm clock as well. So that's interesting, isn't it? I was hoping there might be a Catholic or Christian alarm clock which plays hymns. I quite like the idea of one that plays hymns, but we haven't located one of those yet. Perhaps there's a business opportunity for someone out there, eh? Thank you to Pack Jim for his messages via YouTube. As always, regular correspondent now is our Pack Jim, who writes, Chris, my resemblance to Winston Churchill can be judged by viewing my YouTube video where I can be seen playing Handel on the harmonica. It's on my YouTube channel. I talked with my sister again to get more information, and I and Winston are 7th cousins twice removed. So do you want to have a look at Pack Jim playing his harmonica? Just go on YouTube, and the username you need to look up there is PackJim56. That's PackJim56. And I shall have a look actually before I finish the show. All right, PackJim56 for that one. And finally, quickly, from Doug in Akeley, I was in the Aldi store in Waterloo, Iowa, last Friday, and the staff were real nice and got a ton of food for $40. Oh, I don't like Aldi, you know that. Anyway, that's it from the show today. Time for me to go. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget you can join in by email. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on the next show. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.